Hello everyone, I'm Ezra Silver, and welcome to a showing off my art. I usually don't do this because I still have a few stragglers of variants of characters from even the second generation to do, or no, the third generation to do. So I don't usually do it until I finish that, but I haven't finished, but you know, I have the time to make a YouTube video, and my head's just not feeling the best today. So I wasn't really gonna push it with the gameplay, so here I am. Today's been quite the day. Rocky got to meet new dogs. That was pretty cool. He got to meet his dogs and a puppy from another one of my friends. So it's really cool. Anyways, you're not here for that. You're here for showing off my art. So we are starting the 4th generation, and so let's get started. So if you remember, the last generation we ended off with a certain Toadette. Now, it wasn't just any Toadette, it was a 5-power Toadette. Very specific. So I just went on and I finished, because that's what I've been doing now. You'll notice that there's gonna end up being a lot of repetition nowadays in these things, because I'm no longer just like doing them for doing them, now that like I know there's so many variations of them. And I have the sight to be able to tell if there is. I'm going to do all variations of them before I finish with that character, so it just keeps it more organized for me. So I did Ice Toadette, right, which isn't much different, it's mainly just different colors, but in case you haven't seen any other Toadettes, it's got a cut right there and a cut right there, same as all the others, you know, nothing that different. But yeah, it's really just the same. I'm pretty sure it's traced off of the Fire Toadette, so, you know, same size. Nothing really different. And that started off Gen 3. Next up was the first time I've ever done a version of this character, but Penguin Toadette. First time I've done a penguin character, so again, same thing, cut right there, so 2 cuts. Flippers I could have done a little bit better. I wouldn't change anything about this one, but flippers could have been a bit better. I would have done that better if I could do it again. This is one of the few times I broke my rule about like everything being surrounded by black. As you can see, there's different colored stripes in her sweater thing. And they're not divided by black like the rest of it is, so that's one of the few things I changed, but otherwise I think I nailed this pretty good. So there's Toadette. Also, funny how I start off with blue characters and I'm wearing blue shirts and blue shorts. You can't actually see it, but like there's like blue shorts with there. So that was really weird. We're just gonna disregard that. Okay. Next up is, I always say Hellahead, so I apologize if I end up saying that a lot, but this is Propeller Toadette. Once again, same thing. This is probably my favorite Toadette. Oh yeah, there's a cut right there now because she's taller than the rest, so this is probably my favorite one. I can't say why. I guess it's just the propeller power. I do enjoy the costumes for it. Yeah, nothing much different. I think I traced this one off a mixture of both Penguin and Ice Toadette. Because like this part right here especially would probably come off the penguin and whatnot, and then like the body and stuff, or the arms, or no, this part would probably be the torso would probably be the penguin too, like the skirt and all that. But the arms and the arms definitely came from the Ice Toadette. So this is 2 of them combined. It's the first time Toadette's been 2 people. But otherwise there'd be nothing that really I'd change here. So yeah, there's that. And then there is Flying Squirrel Toadette, which has got a cut on this ear only. And this one I feel like I nailed pretty well too. Not my favorite just because the squirrel power looks ugly on most of the characters, but whatever. I don't know who this one would be traced off of. Probably the Ice Toadette because it doesn't require fins or anything, so. No, I took this from one of the Sonic characters. I definitely took like the scarf thing around her neck. There we go. I don't even know if the camera picked that up, I cracked the neck. But I took that from one of the Sonic characters that I did in the 3rd generation. But aside from that, I think all of this is relatively similar, unless this might be from Toad. I'm not 100% certain on that one, so can't confirm or deny that, but hey, turned out pretty well, didn't it? Very accurate. I try to make these as accurate as possible. Otherwise, I don't really like them. Big the cat. And then we got the pea squirrel. Sounds weird when you say it in person, but I guarantee it has nothing to do with urination. This one was obviously traced off to the flying squirrel. the flying squirrel Toadette, and obviously you saw me look down there for a second because I realized I gave this one a tail. I forgot to give that one a tail. So if I could go back, I'd give that one the tail, but I forgot to. So there's just this little white bump here. That's the tail. And obviously it's got the P, but aside from that, nothing's changed. There's a cut right there. There's a cut right there. There's a cut right there. So the flying squirrels have 3 cuts on them, and that would mark the end of the Toadettes. So that was pretty good. Alright, next up, this one's a bit weird, and honestly, probably my least favorite variation of this character, which I've done every other variation of so far, but Yoshi. If you don't know what this amalgamation of things is, it is obviously from Mario Strikers, but this is the Mega Strike Yoshi. I toyed with the idea in my mind, and you know, I was really big on Mario Strikers at the time, so I was just toying around with the idea like, I mean, do I want to do the Mega Strike version of these characters? I mean, sure, it changed their look, but they're the same characters, so would it really be worth it? And I ended up going with it. So here is Mega Strike Yoshi. He's got a cut right there like all the other Yoshis. Besides that, nothing. If I could go back, I think I'd do a little bit more with the wings. The wings kind of lackluster, but aside from that, everything else is relatively the same. I don't know if I used the same color of greens that I used for the original Mario Strikers Charge Yoshi. I mean, it's obviously traced from him, but I don't know if I used the same exact greens and blues. I might have used different ones because of the time gap, so yeah. But this is what Yoshi, or at least I picked the point in his Mega Strike that looked the most different to make it the most interesting I could. So obviously there's a small time, most of you will probably be like, no, he has his wings after his head goes red. And then his head fades back to green. But there's a very small one, but a small window where his head is red and his wings are there. So it was the best of both evils. But yeah, there is Mega Strike Yoshi. Probably my least favorite Mega Strike I've done so far. Next up, we go back to Dry Bones for a second, we do Gold Bones, or Golden Dry Bones. I know this is a thing. Oh yeah, it is a thing. Okay. Okay, sorry. This, I don't know if it's from New Super Mario Bros. 2, the one where you have the golden fire flower. I don't know if it's from that, but I can confirm that this one is from Mario Kart Tour, which is why I did it. So obviously I traced it from the Dry Bones. Nothing really changed, it's just gold now with blue eyes. So yeah, not much different there. Obviously the shoes are disconnected from the body, just held together by tape, so yeah, nothing much different. And it's golden now. So really nothing special, but it's okay. Okay, now this one is a big one. And we come back to the Mega Strikes. This one was actually traced off of Zomom from the 3rd generation, because it was the only guy big enough to do this. We got Mega Strike Wario. Obviously, a mix between Zomom and the head is the same size and everything of Wario, the original Wario I did. This is just on a huge body, which makes it look kind of bigger. Obviously, the mouth, I could have done a little bit better, but whatever. And then he's got a cut right there and a cut right there, because as you know, each side of the body was different paper. And then he's got a cut right there and a hole filled in right there. And he's got a cut right there and a hole filled in right there. And he's got a cut on his foot right there and a cut on his foot right there. So currently holding the record for the most cuts. This one was originally really hard to do. I was having trouble finding like a decent image of him to go search for, but I found one from, I don't remember which YouTuber, but it's like his HD version of the Mega Strike, so it really helped me a lot with creating this character. So yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of how he turned out. I mean, obviously I said I was gonna redo Wario. I probably won't redo this Wario, just because this one took so long and took so many resources, so I probably won't redo this Wario, so this is going to be the only version of this Wario, but when I go back and redo Wario, I'll probably do him in like the Super Smash Bros. Form, and I'll probably redo him in the regular form and all that, and the striker suit, but I probably won't be redoing this specific Wario, so this is the only version of him that exists. So yeah, it's the same colors. I don't know if it's the same yellow, but it's like I try to make it as similar. Like I try to make all of these as similar as possible. So this is probably the same yellow or close to the same yellow as original Wario. I try to keep it as similar as possible. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I don't know what I would really change about him, aside from his mouth maybe, because the mouth looks a little bit weird. I'm not gonna deny that. So maybe I would have. Part of me wants to say I would have waited for me to redo Wario in order to do that, but hey, you work with what you got. So next up is another Mega Strike character. This time we got Mega Strike Daisy. Obviously in the last generation I did Daisy, I drew Daisy, obviously copied from Princess Peach. This one was a mix of Daisy and tracing off of, what was it? Mix of tracing off Daisy and tracing off of Striker Peach. Or, no, I already had a Daisy. So this one was fully just Mega Strike, or just striking Daisy. Mario Strikers Charge Daisy. That's the one I traced off this one. Obviously, I actually really like this one. I think it's probably my best one so far. I didn't get the colors 100% correct because it's kind of hard with them. If you ever seen the Mega Strikes, I'll put a link to the... I'll go searching for the HD video, but I'll put a link to it in the description below so you can check it out for yourself the video I watch. But even you can see, like, there's no easy way to do it in, obviously this format. I mean, maybe with digital it'll be a bit easier, but I don't do digital, not yet anyway. So this is the only, like, physically drawing it with pencil crayons. It's obviously really hard, especially with the style I'm going in, where the colors are very bold. It's very like one color in one area. It's really hard to do it, but the colors, they like glow and all that, so it makes it really hard to decide what to do. But I think I know this one as well as I could. So please don't go too hard on me if you're a fan of Mario Strikers and all that. But yeah, I got like the design down. I really love her glove, like her ice glove that she uses to punch this ball. This is like one of the few times I used this version of gray, because this was like a really small blue pencil crayon that like turned out gray more so than blue. So this is the color that came off, and so it was actually, you know, really cool, really useful. I think it really helped a lot, and I don't know, I think I really nailed this character. Like, I don't think I could do better on this if I tried, so therefore I wouldn't change the thing. Obviously there's a cut right there, and this is one of the first, if not the first, princess character that I have done with no dislocated shoulder. Yes! So there's that, and honestly, you know, I like it. So I think that was one of my main things. Is like going back now, realizing that I've dislocated so many shoulders. It's like, okay, this has got to be the one. You've got to do the shoulder right. And now we move into people for a little bit. So this is going to be really cool and really fun to do. First off, we start off with my sister, my older sister, Brooklyn, right? Obviously, with everyone that I do who's an actual legitimate person, or just everyone that I have in contact with, I asked them what they'd like to wear. She said just an orange sweater with the ripped jeans, or with jeans. I added the rips because she usually wears ripped jeans. So here's Brooke, kind of an adaptation. Again, pointless hand, whatever, yada yada. Cut right there. So yeah, I can't wait till I do the remodel of these, because these ones, they're okay, but I personally think I could do a lot better on them. Like I said, I made this model by myself, so it was obviously going to be a little bit hard. Or it wasn't going to be a little hard, it was going to be a little bad, for lack of a better term. Jeans, I don't know who I went to inspiration to. I think they're pretty easy to do, so I don't know if I even went to inspiration to do that. The sweater might have been Parker, but I'm not sure, because I don't remember if anyone else. Quinn wore a sweater. Quinn wore a sweater in his, so it was either Quinn or Parker. Probably Quinn, because Quinn was more recent. So yeah, it's kind of, you know. Yeah. And then of course, if I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do the other. So my little sister came next, named Kristen. I asked her what she wanted to wear. She sent me a picture looking like this, so I just drew this. Black jeans, red shoes, black striped shirt, and then this part's really weird right here. I didn't exactly know how to fit that in, because it's a really weird format for a person, which is part of the reason why I want to redo it. And when I redo it, these will look a lot better. Or not redo them in this format, but I found a format, like I said in the previous showing off my art set, it's a lot better. So when I redo them, they'll look a lot better than this. But for now, this is what we got. So we got a cut right there, as all of them do. again pointing his hand. This format, like this right here, is really hard with this format, so I didn't really know what to do for like this. Like, it was kind of like not really a V-neck, but I don't know how to describe it. Also, I haven't seen the picture in a while, so it's gonna be hard to describe. And next up, this one, some might say is egotistical because this is officially the first person that I've drawn, or no, not the first person I've drawn 3 times. The second person I've drawn 3 times. You know, the first person I drew 3 times is Parker. Obviously, the second person I've drawn 3 times is me. But not for the reason you're thinking of. I wasn't like egotistical or anything. But I drew me normally, right? And I drew me as the Joker for Halloween 2019. But then Halloween 2020 came around, and I had a new costume, which I showed if you watched the video. Another thing to put link in the description below. I need to figure out all these out. It's me as the Riddler. Now, a lot of people like this drawing because there's a lot of detail to it, especially they like all the question marks. I personally, I don't mind the question marks. This is probably my favorite one of me that I've done, just because of all the attention, detail, and all that. But probably, the different shades of purple that I added, I think, is what does it for me the most. Now, I actually grabbed my Riddler jacket for this. I grabbed my Riddler jacket and I tried to follow where the question marks were. Obviously, like spots right here where there would be a question mark. There wasn't one, just for constraint and all that. But, you know, I've got my Riddler cane in my other hand. I thought that was, finally I found something to do with the other hand. Now, it's still kind of pointless, but at least now this one, like, it actually found a purpose, because if I put it in this one, then it would have, like, interfered with the look of the tie and all that. So if I put it in this hand, you still see the cane, but you see everything else too. So I thought this was a really neat idea, and it really adds, like, a reason to have the other hand there, rather than just sticking out like that. So this one I'm actually really proud of, again, for that matter, which is what makes it one of my favorites. There's a cut right there. I could have done better on the hat, not gonna lie, but yeah, I don't know where. Like I said, this is literally, as I try to make it accurate to the thing, all the way from like the design of the tip of the cane, to the question marks on my jacket, to the 3 like bumpy things on my glove, to the purple collar thingy, to the purple shirt that I was wearing. Same color of purple used for the Joker, so that's pretty cool because it's the same shirt I wore for the Joker. The green lens and the glasses, the hair that I let stick out. I mean, obviously this isn't how the hair was. It was like tilted down, kind of like this one. But I put it upwards because I was tracing this off of me, so it just made it easier. And then the hat slanted, you know, it all worked out well. And then the black jeans, so it really worked well. Funny story though, the Riddler jacket, it looks like a trench coat on me, but it was actually a coat meant for an adult. So it's actually just a really big, you know, like jacket, like a suit jacket. It's a really big suit jacket, and that's what it's meant to be. But because I wouldn't say my body's really small, I obviously, you know, I work out, so I am pretty buff. But in terms of length, in terms of height, I'm short, I know. But because of my height, it actually turned out really well, because even though it doesn't fit me, it looked like a trench coat, which in a way made it better. So benefit to being small, you can suck my ass. So, I'm sorry. Okay, moving on to next person. Now this was the first character I've done that I haven't been able to come in contact with. Like, this is the first character that I did where they're not a friend, they're not a person that I know, they're a celebrity. And I ain't planning to do many celebrities, but the first character that I did that wasn't a celebrity, I've actually wanted to do him for a little while since I started watching him. Ohmwrecker. Link in the description below to his channel. Ohmwrecker, he's a YouTuber. I found him through Markiplier. I was watching his prop hunt, and then I was watching his murder, his Gmod prop hunt, and his Gmod murder. And he was in those series, so I checked him out, and he was playing Fall Guys at the time that this was out. Or was he playing Fall Guys? I don't know. I don't remember. I know one of the first videos I watched of him was Fall Guys, but anyways, same color of gray used for Daisy. Obviously, he's got his bandana for the Ohmwrecker symbol. I was gonna do his eyes, because if you notice in his outro thing, there's like one half of him where he's got like the blindfold and the sweater on, and the other half of him, or the other side, the right one of him, and maybe I got these wrong, but there's another one of him. There's 2 of him on the outro thing. One side, he's got a bandana on. The other side, he's wearing a black t-shirt, and he's got his eyes, but they're all like electronic, and he's got an, like line like a robot or something. So I just took doing the bandana one just because it makes it interesting. It makes him even more different, and I think I really nailed him for what he is, considering he's the masked gamer. You haven't really seen his face, so we don't even know if this is accurate, but you know, I gave him the gray sweater because he's associated with gray. That's literally his entire thing. And then a blue shirt because it looks nice. I don't know if it's actually part of him, but you know. And then I went for the head. I went off of his outro thing. So obviously bandana, the mustache that doesn't connect to the beard, and then the beard, and then the hair that spikes up like it is in the outro. And then I just gave him jeans because they looked really well with the thing, and black. So hands pointless, but whatever. He's wearing a sweater, pretty cool. Yeah, there's Ohmwrecker. So pretty cool. And then we go back to people that I know for a little bit. We go to a friend of mine that I don't think I've actually shown one on the channel. Not a friend that actually I've talked about her before, but she's not a friend that I've shown in video before. This is Sammy. And Sammy is a friend I've talked about in Cuphead, I believe it is. I don't know what else for sure. But this is Sammy with brown hair. She has like dirty blonde kind of hair, but I tried with the dirty blonde. I tried doing the thing I did with Pink and Gold Peach, where you draw in like brown, then you draw in yellow, or you draw in yellow and then you draw in brown. It didn't look well, it didn't work right, so I just drew her in brown hair. And I asked her what she wanted to wear. It was relatively similar to Brooke, so obviously I copied the jeans from Brooke with the ripped part of it, and then the sweater, I think I copied a lot of this from Brooke, from Brooklyn. She just wanted to wear a turquoise sweater, because turquoise is a color she likes a lot, and then she's got a color right there, so. There's Sammy with brown hair. And now we turn back to people that I don't know, because then we go to one person that I've mentioned a lot, that I talk about a lot on and off camera, that, you know, I watch a lot of. I'm actually watching one of their series right now. Bryce Mquaid, a very underrated, I mean all these guys are very underrated YouTubers, but like, you know, Ohmwrecker is pretty cool, he's an underrated YouTuber. Bryce is pretty cool, he's an underrated YouTuber. So Bryce, I just gave him like his purple and gray shirt. I mean, it's kind of associated with him, he likes purple. I don't know where I got the gray from, but I'm pretty sure I saw him wearing it one time, and that's kind of been like my go-to thing. Like, oh yeah, when I think of Bryce, he's wearing that kind of shirt. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him wear that shirt. I think it's been in like fan art or something. That's probably why. But I really think I nailed Bryce. You know, he's got his like combed hair. I mean, I could have probably done that better, but I didn't. So, hey, that's just Bryce. And then he's got jeans, and he's got his watch, because he wears a watch, I think. I'm pretty sure he wears a watch. Or I might have looked off fan art, I'm not sure. I actually had to Google what color Bryce's hair was, because I wasn't sure if it was like a light brown or a dirty blonde, or in some photos it made it look like it was like a orange. So I actually wasn't sure, but it's dirty blonde, so this is my best attempt at it. And honestly, it's not too bad. Not like a dirty blonde like Sammy's. Sam is like an actual mix of dirty blonde, but Bryce was like kind of like a gold in a way. So I mean, it's more blonde now than before, and his hair's obviously longer than it was when I drew this, but, you know, this Bryce, pretty cool. I like him. Find his channel link in the description below, just like Ohmwrecker. And the next guy I mentioned, is CaRtOoNz. Another one of my favorites, another one that I found, see, a little story thing. I know I keep talking a lot off about the drawings, and more so about backstories behind them. But I found these guys a lot when I was starting to really get, like, tired of Markiplier, because, you know, Markiplier was my favorite for a while, and then, you know, I really started to dislike his content once he, like, grew all mature, or something like that. I mean, he's obviously not the maturest person in the world, but he has gotten a lot more mature since the days of his, like, blue and black checkered office. But honestly, I mean, I've started watching him again more recently with his Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, because I really like that game. But I was getting tired of watching him, and as you know, I've done a lot of times in videos where I've just ripped on Jacksepticeye, and you know, it's whatever. But like, I don't like, I wasn't liking Jack's content, so I had no one else to really watch. So I went back to and I found him again, and he was playing games with Bryce and CaRtOoNz. It took a little bit, but I went to Bryce's channel, I started watching his stuff, it was cool. And then I moved over to CaRtOoNz, I started watching his stuff, it was pretty neat. So here's CaRtOoNz. Wearing red and black, he does like red and black a lot. And then this is the only character that I've actually had to draw in like a really big beard for, because CaRtOoNz has that. Link in the description below for his channel too. A cut right there for his hair. And he's got like these gray spots, not gray, but he's got these lighter spots in his beard. Like these 2 lighter spots. I can't remember the exact photo I used, but he's got these lighter spots, so I kind of did them. It's the only character I've really done that for, with that attention to detail. But he's got white pants, and then he's got a red and black, or a black like sweater vest, and then a red shirt on. And honestly, I think he's pretty good. I really think he's pretty good. And I've been watching a lot of him, and a lot of them. They're playing CaRtOoNz right now, at the time I'm recording this, so it's pretty good. It's an amazing series. Next we move back to people that I do know. And we moved to a member of Epic, someone who's been on channel because I was drawing people a lot. As you know, when I start drawing someone, I draw like a bunch of people because it's like that section of the generation that I do draw people. And so I went to the group chat on Discord and I was like, anyone want me to draw them? And Austin said yes. So here's Austin. Obviously, you know, his hairstyle's not that much different from when he was in the Epic video. He's cut right there. I shouldn't have to tell you that because it's in every one of them. Hands pointless. He's got a white sweater on because that's what he recommended. He's got his black shorts on, probably SJC, but I didn't put the SJC logo there because it would probably be around here where his hand is, so I just thought it best to keep it out of the thing. And then yeah, so I think I really nailed Austin. I mean, I would know more than you guys. You guys can't really confirm or deny this one. Also, speaking of Riddler, the jacket's popping out of the closet there. But yeah, so there's Austin. Pretty cool, pretty nice. I think I did really good on him. He really liked it, so that's good. Oh, all of them are actually really like theirs. Sammy like theirs, Brooke like hers, Kristen like hers, so that's another thing. Next up, like I said, I asked people in the Epic group chat. I already done Parker, so he didn't really respond. Or no, this was CIA at the time. Yeah, I was in a group chat called CIA, which is College Isaac Austin, because I was friends with Parker on Discord, so I had no way to contact him. So when I made the group chat, it was just 3 of us. And so when I asked them, Isaac said he didn't want to be drawn, but he wanted me to draw Carrie, which is this fan-made Octo Girl or Inkling or something to do a Splatoon. I don't know, it's Isaac's thing. But, so in order to do that, I needed to do a paper Inkling. So I had something to base my thing off of. Now, I didn't have that at the time, so I had to draw Inkling Girl before I drew Carrie. So here's Inkling Girl, obviously a fan-made one that I found. It's a little weird, I know, but honestly I don't mind it too much. I got a cut right there, and a cut right there, and a cut right there. It's pretty cool. Obviously she got a little tank. I didn't make this, but I don't know if I'll be able to find the photo. If I do, I'll put it right here, but I can't guarantee anything, so. And it's got her orange hair, her thing, her black eyes, her smile. She got her shirt on with her little backpack, her colored shoes, and a squirt gun. And yeah, so there's Inkling Girl. Out of nowhere, kind of, you know, plopped randomly in this group of people. But I'll get to more Splatoon characters. I didn't do any more in this generation, nor in the next one, or in this one actually. But I might go back and do them, considering. I guess I'm doing these guys next, so if there's any variations of them, I'll be sure to know. And with that being said, we got Carrie. And Carrie, you know, I kind of have to describe a lot more for you guys because obviously there's no pictures of Carrie, you can only look up in reference. So these things right here, these are kind of like the insides of the jacket. Her shoes are just black, and then she got gray pants, like a blue, like a pink undershirt, a white shirt on top. Like I said, jacket with like white collar thing. She's got her blue and purple like octo hair with little diamonds and suction cup, whatever octopuses have there. Obviously traced from from Squid Girl, as I said. Inkling girl. And it's covering one of her head, like there's a bang covering one of her eyes, so obviously only one of her eyes are there, and then she's just kind of smiling intently. I think she has swords, but I can't confirm or deny that. And if I got any of this wrong, then I apologize to Isaac, but you know, whatever. So there's Carrie. They thought I did a really good job on her, so yeah. Carrie. Now, we turn back to a character that I hadn't done before. So, I mean, what? We return to a character that I've already done. This is a different version of him. So, I finally went back because I played with the idea in my mind. I played with a lot of ideas in my mind when it comes to this stuff. And so I made blonde Sammy, because Sammy's hair is kind of like a mix of both. And so I could really do like a 50-50. And since I want to see how it looked and all that, I thought it was just right that I did blonde her. So now I got both, you know, sides of her. Because I couldn't put her together, I just divided them in two and did two. So obviously the same as Sammy, Trey's top of Sammy, nothing's different at all, still the same cut right there. Oh yeah, Carrie's got no cuts, by the way. Carrie's one of the few that have 0 cuts. So obviously everything's the same as the other Sammy, except her hair is blonde now, so yeah, that's that. Literally nothing different, nothing much to touch on. Next, we go back to Mario Kart Tour, and I trace another character from the 3rd generation. We've got King, or not the 3rd, is it the 3rd or the 2nd gen? I don't know, they all kind of mashed together at some points. We got Gold King Boo, obviously not introduced until Mario Kart Tour, so, you know, I traced this guy to get it done and over with. So here's King Boo, he's got a gray crown with it, a silver crown, with his blue gem thingies, and the rest of it is gold, so there's that, nothing much special, no cuts on him, nothing at all. Okay, next we return to people that I do know once again, because Halloween came up. That one wasn't Halloween, I got the suit previous to it so I could draw it easier, and then just show it off at Halloween. Or no, I drew the one at Halloween. This one came a little bit after. I tried to get to it as soon as possible, but I had other stuff I wanted to draw before that. So this one is a redone version of Kezia. Obviously I've done Kezia before, but I didn't like the version of Kezia, as I made it clear when I showed her off. So this is Kezia in her Halloween suit. It's her as the older sister. I don't remember her name from Phineas and Ferb. I really don't know because I wasn't allowed to watch the show growing up. My parents didn't like it, therefore they wouldn't let me watch it. That's how it worked. So she's wearing like the the pink top that whatever her face is wearing, with the white skirt with the pink belt thingy and the white shoes. And it's obviously sleeveless and all that. So different things. She's taller than the other Kezia. She's got a cut right here. Her hair, at the time, it had like pink strands in it, and it's like blonde at the bottom, but like kind of like a reddish, or like a faded red, kind of brown, gold brown hair at the top. So she's not like devilishly smiling, because you think her eyes are covered by her bangs, because she has bangs. So yeah, there's all that. And it's good. Redone Kezia. I mean, obviously, doesn't look too much like her, but I tried. And there you go. Now we're done that, and now we just have one more character to do. And the interesting thing about this character, this is CaRtOoNz, but this is him as his icon, his YouTube icon and whatnot. I actually wasn't going to do the other CaRtOoNz, but in order to make the other CaRtOoNz, in order to make this CaRtOoNz, I decided to make the other CaRtOoNz, so I just something to go off of. So the other CaRtOoNz I showed you wasn't meant to be a thing, but it ended up being a thing, so I had a platform when I made this CaRtOoNz. There you go. So there's that. Now this CaRtOoNz, obviously he's got his little devil tail, he's got like his X'd out eye, and his other eye, and he's got the black goatee and the spiked up hair like he had before, but more messy this time, and the devil horn, right? So it's red, he's got his maroon kind of shirt and his brown jeans. Obviously I looked at fan art for this one, so there's that. So this is the real CaRtOoNz. This was the CaRtOoNz I meant to make all along, but this one ended up being made later because of stuff like that. And now we move on to a character that I did kind of hint at in a way, but, you know, haven't shown. This was actually, like, probably one of, if not my favorite character I drew in this generation, and it's really cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mega Strike Peach. Mega Strike Peach, as you know, she rises into the air, and then she has angel wings and all that. And although it's relatively unclear, if you ask me how I got this version of Mega Strike Peach done, I found an actual picture of her Mega Strike where she's in T-pose form. And then another picture of her where she had a crown, which I didn't know she had, so I added the crown after I finished the whole thing. But I found a T-pose of her, which is really lucky for me because it was super unclear. Even with the HD version of the Mega Strikes that I saw, it was too hard to tell. So thank God I found this. But yeah, I obviously traced off, you know, Striker Peach with help from Striker Daisy to get like her arm not dislocated. She's got no mouth, no nose, but white eyes, and then relatively like a lot of different shades of pink, as you can clearly tell. Her wings, I made one wing and then traced one wing to make the other wing, because obviously that can work because, you know, it's like dual-sided anyway, so it works anyway. So there's that. She's got a regular crown on, but with a crown above that, and then she's got her wings. I think this is whiter than Wario, which means it's whiter than Zelma, which makes Mega Strike Peach the whitest character I've made yet. And I really like it. I like the variations of pink. I like the detail and all that. I really like Mega Strike Peach. Probably the hardest Mega Strike person I've had to do yet. And with that being said, I decided to finish off the Peaches, so I went and I did Princess Peach from Super Mario 3D World, where she has the boomerang thing. And I really like the boomerang thing. I mean, it's not the best, you know, adaptation of her in the world. I actually kept a Hammer Bro or whatever beside me while I drew her, just to look for reference. Obviously I didn't trace it because this is too big to be Hammer Bro. She got a cut right there like all the other Peach. I forgot to mention that Peach, the Mega Strike Peach, has also got a cut right there on her head, and then there's the obvious separated parts in that. But this uses some of the same pinks as I used in the Mega Strike Peach, so it's just that I feel like I could have made her boomerang a little bit bigger, but aside from that, everything is relatively, you know, cool. I mean, I could have done the shell a bit better, but I don't even know how I would have done that better. I just don't, it rubs me the wrong way, so. Aside from that, yeah, this is Peach. It's Peach. Actually, it was traced off of, maybe it was traced off of Mega Strike Peach, because, I mean, that makes sense. I think it was traced off Mega Strike Peach, because, I mean, it could have been traced off of normal Mario Striker's Peach, but personally, I think it was traced off of Mega Strike Peach, because Mega Strike Peach was made more recently, so she'd be easier to access. And obviously, she isn't wearing a dress, so I had to get her legs, so, you know, Mega Strike Peach provided legs rather than a dress skirt. So there's that. And with that, looking at the time, I think we'll end it off with this next one I do here. This next one wasn't meant to be done next. I was meant to finish off the Peaches. But this one actually is very special. Let me hold them up. This is Angry Wiggler. I wasn't sure whether to do him with the flower on or flower off, so I just kept the flower on. Because some variations he has the flower off and some variations he has the flower on. Obviously traced off regular Wiggler, except made him mad. I outlined him, and then I put him in a bag, and I did him at school. This is the only character I've done outside my house. The only character finished, completed, colored in any sort of way outside of my house. So that is the thing he gets the whole title for. Obviously the same length as Wiggler, being cut right there. I made his neck stronger. As you can see, the difference between this Wiggler and the other Wiggler is that his neck is more in, because the other Wiggler has some problems where his neck is kind of weak. So if I pull too hard, his neck will come. I mean, you can do that with anything, but his is very delicate. So you pull it even a little bit, and his neck could fall off. And you think, oh, you could have tape, sure, but it's a lot of work, so I have to cut it and all that. And, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So he's got a cut in the middle there and a cut on his flower here. I like it to be done at school. It's pretty cool. Obviously the mouth and whatnot is different, but I honestly think I nailed it pretty well. So there is Wiggler. Same length, actually a little bit shorter than the other Wiggler because like I said, the neck. But generally, I think he was done pretty freaking well. So I like the little angry hashtag I did. I feel like I could have done the colors a little bit more vibrantly, especially the red. But part of me was like, I meant to. But if any of you have been to a school where there's desks that you can put things under, you know that anytime you write, it makes a little noise. And I finished my exam, so I could draw. And it wasn't make like a loud noise. I don't think people across the class could hear it, but I felt bad for the people beside me. So I tried to draw it as lightly as possible. And obviously it made a noise, and I felt really bad. But alas, I did it. But I could have made the colors a lot more vibrant. So I wish I did. I wish I made the colors vibrant, but I'm not gonna go back and redo it because there's tape and whatnot, so it's gonna interfere. So now it's making them look really weird. So. Yeah, we've got through a decent chunk, at least like maybe a quarter, maybe. So yeah, that'll end it off for this episode. Obviously we got a lot more to go through, and not a lot more for the 4th generation. So hope you like it so far. Stay tuned for the next one. I don't think it'll come out today, so I'll probably make another one either tomorrow or the next day. I just wasn't feeling good enough for a gameplay. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but I'm still like going really hot. So I'm gonna go relax after maybe draw a bit, work on the 6th, or no, is it the 5th? Wait, 4th? 5th? I worked on the 6th generation of characters, so that's right. I'm working my way to the 6th generation. I'm at 557 right now. I'm working on hammer bows, different variations of that. There's a lot of them, so there's a lot to do. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Mads the Silver, like, subscribe for more of this. Or getting more vlogs, whatever else comes. I will see you all very, very soon. Later, guys.